This journey I'm excited to share with you. Hit it. Do you remember what you did for your 18th birthday? Did you buy a lottery ticket? Did you get your first tattoo? Well, the first legal act I made as an adult was signing my amputation papers. It's fair to say I did not start adulthood off on the right foot. No, I started on my left. Thankfully, this was not the end of my story, but the beginning of a new journey. One that brought me to Montana, where I discovered a totally different way of living and being, and that rent costs more than my prosthetic legs. The hardest moments in my life have given me my clearest purpose and brought joy, mobility, and community to the heart of what I do. This was me as a kid, running like Jack Sparrow, chaotic, flailing arms, in constant motion. I loved it. I lived for movement, and I believed, even with that form, I would play soccer professionally. It's hard to remember what life was like before I got sick. My carefree childhood was cut short when I was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of cancer in my right ankle at 11 years old. After one phone call, I was rushed into a 17-hour extensive reconstructive surgery. For me and my family, normal disappeared overnight. Before cancer, my biggest fear was getting lice. Chemo solved that one real quick. Suddenly, I became the cancer kid. Months of treatment and radiation meant missing school, sleepovers, and sports, the things I had taken for granted. On the outside, I looked different, but on the inside, I was still me, just a kid. That year was brutal, but with the support from my incredible community, family, and doctors, I pulled through. I relearned how to walk and went back to school, determined to not fall behind and to fit in with my peers. If I could face middle school girls bald and on crutches, I could do anything. Over the next several years, I crept back into normal life. Doctors said that I probably would never run again, but I'm stubborn, so I joined cross country and track. I pushed past expectations and even became a varsity athlete. By this point, it truly felt like I had outrun cancer, leaving it behind. And then, plot twist. The day before my 18th birthday, I received an unwelcome surprise, cancer again. This time, bone cancer, induced by the radiation treatment that had saved me years before. The cure had become the cause. After they took my leg, which turns out they don't let you keep it, I asked, I underwent an intense chemotherapy regimen to give me the best shot at living. Once again, I faced my mortality, and I spent months in hospital beds, sustained by short visits with friends and ordinary moments with the people that I loved. The mundane became my everything. My leg would not heal, which meant I could not get a prosthetic for over a year after my amputation. I was in limbo without my limb. Staring at it wasn't helping. Turns out a watched leg never heals. So instead of waiting, I went on a cross-country road trip from Wisconsin to California, visiting as many national parks as I could. That trip taught me that I did not need everything ready to begin. Even without all of the pieces, even without a leg, I could still get started, and I'm so glad I did. Somewhere between the national parks and long drives, I came across Highlight Reservoir, and I learned about a college nearby. My next steps became clear. When I got back, I was finally ready for a prosthetic. All I had to do was put one foot in front of the other. Easy, right? No. This is when it hit me. For the rest of my life, I would rely on mobility technology to move. My old idea of normal was gone. I had to accept my new reality to move forward. About 6 months after relearning how to walk with a prosthetic, I moved to Montana to attend MSU. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I wanted a fresh start. I quickly learned about Eagle Mount, a nonprofit that provides recreational opportunities for people with disabilities. And that's when the magic happened. I signed up for an adaptive ski lesson. That lesson turned into a season. That season turned into 5 years of Eagle Mount. I became a ski instructor, coaching kids and adults with disabilities, witnessing the joy and the freedom I had experienced on the mountain. This did not just reconnect me to sport. It introduced me to something even more powerful, community. Eagle Mount has over 400 volunteers and 200 participants each season. I saw firsthand what happens when people show up for each other. I saw how kindness scales. I saw that when people move, they heal, and when we move together, it amplifies. Being a part of this community gave me the confidence to start tinkering with my own gear for skiing. That tinkering turned into a company I co-founded with a close friend, making affordable prosthetic modifications for action sports. We did not have it all figured out. We just got started. And now we have a team of amputees testing our products. The more I leaned in, the more I saw the power of community. This spring, I joined an adaptive avalanche course, making the backcountry more accessible. I also learned how to whitewater kayak with First Descents, a program for folks impacted by cancer. The joy and connection in these spaces ran deep, and my community kept growing. 1 in 4 adults in the United States has a disability. That's not a niche. That's a quarter of the population. Yet, our systems, from healthcare to transportation, continue to overlook, exclude, and underestimate people with disabilities. We're not here to be inspirational. We're here to be included. Embracing being a part of the disability community rather than trying to overcome it has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. I want people to see my disability and to see that having access to appropriate care makes my life and passions possible. Mobility is freedom, and that is something everybody deserves. So what's next? Next month, I'm traveling to Ecuador to climb Cotopaxi alongside other amputees to raise money and awareness for the Range of Motion Project, a nonprofit that provides prosthetic care for amputees in need. 2 of the amputees climbing on the team are patients of RUMP and received care through the program. This has real impact. We believe mobility is a basic human right. If you're interested in learning more about my climb or romp, follow my campaign and scan the link above. It has been a joy to share my journey with you. Now, whatever you've been waiting on, go get started.